Good evening, everybody. This is an impromptu episode of the Oskar Quentin Evening Show because everybody wanted me to live react to the Trump speech. So I thought, you know what? I can move some things around this evening and I can make that happen. So we've got it open from the Associated Press, so we're just going to leave that on the side of the screen in case it happens early. It won't. It almost always happens late with Trump, so we'll see how it goes. He's talking about election security. When Trump schedules these sorts of speeches, they're often really just a big nothing burger. There's often like some papers signed that we knew were coming, or some, announcement of some agreement with some asshole, or some ass kissing, or a plaque being gifted, or whatever type of bullshit he does in the Oval Office. But I am a little bit concerned about this one. I do feel like there's a sense of desperation from the GOP regarding what's going to happen going into November. I think they are genuinely concerned about the likelihood of some sort of catastrophic blue wave. I think I have demonstrated a little more confidence in the American people going into the midterms than a lot of creators have, because I just recognize that we're living in unprecedented times. And the idea that the pollsters are going to be really, really wrong in either direction is very real for me. I don't think that anybody who tells you they have any certainty about what the outcome in November is going to be, I don't think anybody who tells you that knows what they're talking about. It's like somebody telling you that they know big moves in the stock market that are going to happen. If it was that easy for anybody, even those in the know to predict it, more people would be doing it. Chronos sent me $2 on YouTube Super Chat to say, W. Oscar in a suit and tie. I don't know if I'd call this a suit, but I am wearing a tie. That was producer Jesse.
I was just about to say, he's looking pretty sharp over there, no?
Fuck yourself, Jesse. I quit my job, so I never had to wear a fucking tie again so long as I lived. But now people take me fucking seriously or something, so I need to fucking, I don't know, I'm reporting on the president, right? I should look sharp.
Absolutely. Are we looking at the right stream?
Yeah. Yeah. Is that the test one?
Just double checking. I don't.
Wait, let's hit the live button so it's actually live. There we go.
Yeah.
we were doing some framing tests before. Wouldn't that be embarrassing if we were 5 minutes behind the rest of the world because we forgot to?
We will be eventually.
We will, because I am probably going to be stopping the stream to get a word in edgewise, so it'll get paused and we'll slowly fall behind reality a little bit. So if you want the most up-to-date stream, you're going to have to watch it yourself from the Associated Press. Whereas if you want my commentary on it, we are going to have to stop a little bit to get that in. I'm a little bit new at this. I'm pretty good at the debate streams. The evening show has been kind of a new challenge, but the idea of just live reacting to content as it happens, from the White House, that's new for Oscar. So we'll see if I do a good job. And the new camera is awesome. It was kind of expensive. I'm working on getting it looking sharp on both TikTok and YouTube. The YouTube VODs are still a little crunchy, but there's just some technical stuff going on there. What's going on tonight is that because we're bypassing TikTok, there's no screen capture of this happening. It's the camera's going raw into OBS, which is probably how we should be doing it going forward anyway. But maybe I'll just use one of the old webcams to do the TikTok stream. Enough meta discourse about the show. The people want to know, Jesse, how are you doing?
I'm great. And Kronos, I saw you yapping in the chat earlier. To answer the question I saw come up, Noodle is on a play date right now. So Noodle will not be taking my attention tonight. I am here to watch Oscar along with the rest of you uninterrupted. So as always, if you seriously need his attention, I'll be watching. I'm here.
Heck, Taram hasn't been watching for long, but likes my content. Welcome to the party. It's pretty crazy watching what's going on in America. Yes, Noodle has been fired as mascot of the show for being too noisy. I will say, I cannot believe I made it 5 months into this live streaming chapter of my life without my alert dog that barks constantly, barking to a degree that I can't have her in the room while I'm live. But today was the day where the moment I started the intro, I said, "Good morning, everybody. This is the Oskar Quentin." I started doing that thing. She started barking immediately, and I thought, no, she has figured it out. She has figured out that the moment the show starts, she will get attention if she barks her head off. So
yeah, she's locked it. The second the show stops running and she sees me and Oscar interacting like humans again, she's right back into being normal, sweet baby girl. So she knows what a show is. And that's why we had to start finding a friend for her to go hang out with while we're doing this. So hopefully we can find some longevity in that.
Maybe we can work the grift a little bit and say now people are, instead of donating for the 3 people that run this show, they're donating for 4 people because we have a pet sitter in the equation now.
I'm always down to work the grift.
Yeah.
That's our job.
God forbid we be honest about the expenses of the show so that the donors know what their money's going to. She's NES Joss 64 says she's a smart, cuddly, lovely little cookie. She really is. She just she's like a mile a minute. She's always outsmarting her training. She's pretty goddamn chill with just me. Like the other 22 hours of the day. But she even before I was live streaming, even before I started doing the political debate thing, I'd like hop on Omi TV and play some Guitar for Strangers, and that was social enough for her to get jealous of it. So she'd like bug me while I was doing that. But who cares about that? That's just goofing off on the internet. Doesn't matter if my dog's vying for attention from that. But the show's getting a little too popular for my dog to be fucking it up. It's a little unprofessional.
I mean, just a little. She's been well loved this whole time, so I do think it's a shame. And Danielle, I see you. Only I can call Noodle baby girl. Yeah, I'm agreeing to that. She is my baby girl.
Okay. Tom is saying that they work in a dog daycare. I will say the offers from people from the community to help with the dog care, it's a long list. And for how remarkably difficult a dog she is in certain ways, I'm just kind of reticent trust-wise. The person who I haven't arranged for it to be a full-time thing, but we're because this was kind of short notice doing this stream tonight. The person who's watching her is somebody who's watched her before and lives awfully close. Ooh, here we go.
Good evening. Before we begin, I'm proud to report that our country is safer, stronger, and far wealthier than it has ever been before. We are doing great. Less than 2 years ago, we inherited an economic and social disaster. After the worst inflation in 48 years, the wide open borders with millions and millions of people pouring in from all over the world, including criminals of all types, and 11,888 murders, many of whom killed more than one person. We had transgender for everybody, men and women sports, crime ravaging our cities, and the whole world was laughing at us as a nation, but not anymore. 2 years ago, our country was dead. Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world. America is respected like we have never been respected before. We have more money being invested in the United States than at any time in the history of our country. More Americans are working today than ever before. This week it was announced that inflation saw the largest monthly decline in more than 6 years. Just happened. It was just given out. The media reported it, and we accept it. The best in 6 years. The tax cuts in our great, big, beautiful bill are saving hardworking families thousands and thousands of dollars, like with the provisions, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors, along with the interest deduction on a loan used to purchase a car, but only if that car is made in America, and a 100% expensing for our job-creating businesses. Our stock markets are at their highest point in many years, but we can actually say of all time. And your 401ks, pensions, and retirement accounts are setting records every single day, the highest in history. For years, we paid the highest price for prescription drugs anywhere in the world. Now we pay the lowest price under my most favored nation's policy because I was able to get the rest of the world and the pharmaceutical companies to act responsibly.
All of my viewers know all this is horse shit, right? I don't need to point any of this out. I don't think so.
Drug prices are coming down by 70, 80, and 90%. TrumpRx.gov. This will ultimately reduce the cost of health care. You have to go to TrumpRx.gov and take advantage of it. but the cost of health care is coming way down because of what we've done with prescription drugs. And with Trump accounts, every child in America now has access to a tax-free investment account to save for their future. Billions and billions of dollars are being invested, put in by companies and individuals to take care of our children so that at age 18, they will have potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars in their account, and they'll get off to a great start in life. So for that, go to trumpaccounts.gov and sign up your child or any child who'd like to sign up. Our previously wide open borders have been transformed into the most secure borders in the history of our country, with 0 illegal aliens being admitted to the United States in the past 14 months. That is 0. Nobody thought it was possible. We had the worst border in the history of our country, and now we have the best. Crime is plummeting nationwide, with the murder rate at its lowest level.
The reason I'm not addressing any of this is because it's the same list of lies that he tells every time he does any kind of address. It just gets a little bit longer every time he does a speech. But yeah, just a bunch of bullshit. So, yeah.
Since 1900, or more than 125 years ago, we're making a record investment in our armed forces, and we have the strongest and most powerful military by far anywhere in the world. I built it during my first term, and unfortunately, we're forced to use it now. We won in Venezuela, which is now working with us to produce millions and millions of barrels of oil. We are likewise winning big in Iran, and you will see the fruits of that labor very, very shortly. America is back and doing really well, but we still have a major challenge that must be urgently addressed, because no country can be great without fair and honest elections. You have to trust your country, because if there can be no trust, there can be no greatness. And that's very simple. No trust, no greatness. For many years, I've called for bold, swift, and decisive action to protect the integrity of America's elections. Every American deserves to know that when they cast their vote, that vote will be counted accurately in a system, and that is to make that system secure, one where cheating and interference are not just difficult, but virtually impossible. Unfortunately, the system we have today falls catastrophically short of that standard. Tonight, I'm announcing the immediate declassification and release of critical intelligence revealing shocking vulnerabilities in our election infrastructure. This evidence shows that the election system we have dangerously exposes, and really exposes like levels never thought possible, to hacking, exploitation, and foreign interference. Just as disturbingly, this vital information.
30 years monitoring groups have been looking at this carefully and haven't found any voter fraud, so they're going to manufacture some bullshit to feed us. So if they release some now declassified information about this, we will be looking at it very, very carefully on my platform, because this is fucking important, and I think that this is about to be a big pile of bullshit that they go release. I think I'm going to be saying the word bullshit on tonight's stream quite a lot.
Information has for many years been covered up and hidden from you, the American people, our beautiful, our great American people. But that all changes right now. The documents we will release starting tonight have been gathered by the White House Government Transparency Task Force, a great group of people, along with the staff of the President's Intelligence Advisory Board, supported by our top intelligence agency chiefs, who have all personally reviewed the findings. We are presenting this evening and fully confirmed their authenticity. You can see these documents for yourself at whitehouse.gov. That's whitehouse.gov. Go check it out. Our purpose in disclosing this information is not to weaken confidence in election, but to earn that confidence by confronting vulnerabilities and correcting them very, very quickly. And that's what we're doing. The documents.
Has anybody else noticed that he's slowly been needing to clear his throat more and more since the beginning of the stream, but he's afraid of coughing on television, so he's not doing it? Let's see how bad it gets.
cover 5 major areas of concern. First, they show that over a period of years, starting during the 2020 election cycle, the People's Republic of China carried out what is believed to be the largest compromise of election data in history, resulting in China's illicit acquisition of 220 million U.S. voter files. That information includes names, addresses, phone numbers, political party preferences, and other sensitive data that would be needed to register to vote and engage in other nefarious activities, which is exactly what was happening. This data loss presents an unprecedented election security nightmare. The intelligence even shows that China assigned a data exploitation unit specifically to this new project. Compounding the travesty, the second set of documents we are releasing reveals that members of the deep state, very, very famous group of people, in many cases, in our intelligence agency work to actively suppress and downplay information about the extent of China's sinister election meddling, covering it up from both the president and the American people like nobody thought was possible. U.S. spy agencies began learning about the compromise of voter registration files in 2020 when they discovered that tens of millions of voter data, think of that, tens of millions of voters' data in 18 states have been bought, stolen, or hacked by China. Yet those responsible for sounding the alarm instead kept the information secret and hidden. They did not disclose to me as president or to anyone else, and to the best of our knowledge, they did not inform Congress. In fact, all they kept saying is, this is the most secure election in the history of our country, a standard, very pat line that
Was Trump just doing an impression of himself?
was divvied out to say the cover-up of this colossal security breach is even more disturbing in light of the additional information showing that China engaged in other election-related activities to undermine my first administration and our 2020 campaign. They did not want, and they just didn't want it. They fought like hell not to have it, Donald Trump, to win, and for good reason. As the documents we are releasing show, CIA reporting explicitly stated, and I quote, in mid-2018, the Chinese Communist Party's policy was to leverage all domestic and foreign elements that were opposed to the U.S. president in an effort to reduce the U.S. president's votes and make him resign or prevent his re-election. Isn't that nice? Also, in mid-2018, China was working to influence the results of the U.S. midterm elections and later the results of the 2020 presidential election itself. Separately, in mid-2019, the Chinese government's strategy against the United States was focused on undermining domestic confidence in the U.S. president. They wanted to just make you sound like your president wasn't so hot, when actually your president has done a great job, and they did everything possible to do exactly that. Going on, this document says, and this is by the CIA, the strategy included efforts to use Chinese contacts with big U.S. companies to influence U.S. business leaders to turn against the President of the United States of America.
In recognition of the $2 from Tim Davidson on YouTube Super Chat saying, the senile old bat still talking about 2020. I think what's going on here is that in addition to all the lies about 2020 that he hasn't been able to sell to the public and certainly not to the courts, he is just fucking grasping at straws with election season coming up. So I assume there's going to be some announcement about a task force or some attempt to fix this, which is going to drastically influence the upcoming election. And that's what I'm fucking worried about watching this right now, because sure, I don't think he can do anything about 2020. I think we've seen that. But the fact that he's bringing up yet a new scheme, how convenient that a few months before the midterms, he suddenly has a new reason to say that the 2020 election was rigged. And the chat has also pointed out, it sounds like his administration biffed it the first time around. But back to you, Trump.
The Chinese government sought to identify U.S. journalists who had reported negatively on the U.S. president and pay them large sums of money to write more negative articles about him, as many as they could, and they didn't care what they said. The Chinese government wanted U.S. president to lose the next election, and the reason they wanted me to lose is because they knew I was wise to them, charged them billions and billions of dollars worth of tariffs, and built the strongest military anywhere in the world. We have the strongest military anywhere in the world. These are exact quotes from the CIA reporting. The name of the person doing the quote is now under review, but it gets even worse. Raw intelligence obtained by the FBI in 2020, yet buried by rogue bureaucrats, stated that China's activities even included an attempt to manufacture illegal ballots for Joe Biden. Documents show that during this period, dozens of significant CIA and NSA reports about China's election targeting were kept out of the presidential briefing. These were briefings I would get almost every day. Everything was kept out that was of importance. One email among intelligence analysts admitted that they had, quote, deliberately massaged the presidential daily briefing to withhold information regarding Chinese activities related to the election. Another official inside the FBI wrote that she was running, quote, a shadow government, unquote, to keep intelligence about China's election meddling from becoming known and to keep it away from the honorable press.
We tried to blame the Democrats. Nobody believed us, so we're blaming China.
Other officials who witnessed such efforts perceived the motivations to be blatantly political. Recently, we found significant numbers of burn bags in formation, and this is a group of bags that were used to destroy information given by President Barack Hussein Obama to be burned. It was supposed to be burned. These bags were supposed to be...
The fuck are you talking about?
...at a different level by different people, incinerated and checked, but it never happened. Maybe we got lucky. We believe this was not done on purpose, but rather through gross incompetence of the people that were supposed to burn the bags. But the findings are stunning. Today, I'm asking the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, the Department of Justice, the FBI, and the CIA to investigate how and why such crucial information was hidden, to fire those involved in the cover-up, and to file criminal charges, if appropriate, against these people. Yet concealing China's meddling was only the beginning. The third set of documents we are releasing proves that for many years, Americans were blatantly lied to about the security of our election infrastructure, including electronic voting machines and ballot counting systems, dishonest, almost all. They're vulnerable and they're easily compromised, and people within our government knew that. Tonight, we're publishing a series of previously classified U.S. intelligence community assessments and other reports proving that our government has long known these machines are extremely exposed to attack. As one assessment states, we judge that the United States adversaries, including at a minimum Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, as well as non-state groups, have the capability to compromise U.S. election infrastructure. That's unquote, but that's some statement, isn't it, made by supposedly great patriots of our country. The document goes on to further state that, quote, we assess that centralized election-related data repositories, such as voter registration databases, poll books, and other official election websites, are most vulnerable to exploitation, and adversaries could use this access to these systems to disrupt election processes within the United States of America. Tonight, we're releasing all of those findings, and spanning from January 2020 to June 2026, this is a cyber threat aimed at the very heart of our democracy. Many people have questioned whether it could actually be possible to electronically manipulate vote totals or change election results on these terrible machines. Today, we are releasing documents that show the CIA obtained reporting of a specific plot to do a big number in favor of the corrupt Maduro regime in Venezuela, and that's exactly what happened, conspiring to digitally rig their own country's elections in 20.
Just to acknowledge a couple things in the chat, I do agree that he's leaning on that podium a little bit more than he does. I'm always watching for his health. Like I said, his voice, he doesn't sound like his voice is lacking power like it does sometimes, but he definitely doesn't sound all that clear-throated. And yeah, he is really shifting his weight a lot, which for all they said about Joe Biden not being able to stand behind the lectern that long, I think he's demonstrating his age is showing. And Jen, happy to see you from Australia. Glad you made the stream.
2020, and that's what they did. This reporting included precise details about methods to regime develop to digitally alter vote totals in ways that could not be detected even with an audit, no matter how deep they went. This intelligence underscores why we must take urgent action to ensure that our own system can never, ever be hacked or compromised like it was in the past. The fourth set of documents reveals that even when significant evidence of fraud has been detected, it has been buried and covered up. Among the disclosures tonight are FBI files detailing evidence of alleged fraud by a large-scale voter registration operation in Michigan. In 2020, Michigan State Police raided a Democrat Get Out the Vote organization, corrupt group in Muskegon. And we're so concerned by what they found. They were just so concerned, they couldn't believe it, actually, that they contacted the FBI in Detroit. The documents state that some canvassers admit.
I feel like I'm in a friendly room commentating on this content in front of my own audience because I don't think there's much opposition in the chat tonight. But the chat is, you guys are on it. You guys are saying everything I want to say about this, which is that this type of shit is dangerous. Because I know, we're going to see it tomorrow at 10 Central when I start my debate show. Because people are going to call in with these talking points and say, Donald Trump proved on TV last night that all this election fraud was happening. And I will have to tell them, no, he fucking didn't. He just said that the proof exists. It'll be interesting to see what the internet sleuths and perhaps some of the worker bees over in the Discord, or anybody on the Discord, really have to say about these documents as they come out, because I'm gonna have to give them a look before I go live tomorrow. We're gonna have to dig into this shit because this is. I'm gonna take a moment to say that this is the problem with what happens on the debate show and what's happening right now is that he's given us a whole pile of bullshit, and if we can't refute it fast enough, the chuds will believe it. So that the burden becomes on us to prove that their claims are nonsense, even though that's not the way that this sort of thing is going to work, because their side doesn't care about what good proof is. So I just wanted to get that in there.
Admitted to FBI agents that they signed voter registration forms in other people's names, submitted fraudulent registration for people who did not exist, and received gift cards tied to their number of applications that they produced. In other words, it was pay, play, and cheat. The FBI agents working on the case believe that crimes were committed, yet the Biden Department of Justice slow-walked the investigation and killed it. Tonight, I'm asking the FBI director to ensure that the matter is fully investigated and to work with the Department of Justice to prosecute those responsible for any crimes. Finally, to reveal just how vulnerable our elections continue to be, we are releasing the results of a study.
All caps are allowed in the chat tonight. This is bullshit.
Investigation by the Department of Homeland Security. According to the DHS review of state voter rolls and public records, they identified approximately 278,000 non-citizens who are registered to vote in federal elections. Since Democrat states refuse to share their voter files, the real number is actually much higher than that. Yet, even this limited analysis found more than 250,000 foreigners illegally registered to vote. Put together, these disclosures reveal an election system so broken and so vulnerable that no one can possibly defend it. It is not defensible. Hundreds of millions of U.S. voter files are in the hands of foreign governments. Our machines and
Were they fucking given to them by Elon Musk? Sorry, I'm getting upset.
ballot counting systems are exposed to hacking and manipulation and corruption. China and other countries have been trying to meddle in our elections. Evidence of fraud has been buried. Hundreds of thousands of non-citizens and dead people are listed and active on the voter rolls, and yet we still have elections with no voter ID, no proof of citizenship, and tens of millions of ballots floating aimlessly through the mail. As one example of the insanity, California's recent election for mayor of LA and governor was held on June 2nd, a long time ago, but it was just completed a few days ago on July 10th. Think of that, much more than 1 month. Took a month to count the votes. I wonder what they were doing. This is worse than any third world country. There's no third world country that has elections like we have.
I'm just going to point out that, like, there's a lot of stuff that's really ridiculous that he says. There's a lot of bullshit that Trump says when he's on the TV. When he says that our elections are more fraudulent than in any third world country, that is so obviously false a thing. It demonstrates the type of cretin to whom this sort of speech is pandered. Are you fucking kidding me? There are dictators in this world who received more votes in their elections than there are people in their country. That might not be literally true at the moment, but that's the sort of shit that happens in third world countries, where it's obviously flagrantly impossible that the person democratically elected was actually democratically elected. Thank you, Katie, for the $2. Thank you, Lucky Phil, for the $2. I'm not going to be reading all the donation messages until the end of the stream. We got to stay a little bit current with this, but like, don't be fooled by the business attire today. Oscar's getting a little bit spicy just listening.
Rare move. NBC and ABC fake news have both said that they would not cover this speech. They knew what it was about because of the fact that they don't like the topic, because they know how corrupt our system is and they don't want to reveal it.
Okay, how could that have been timed better, what he just said, after what I just said about this speech as a whole, that it is designed to be pandered for people who don't know how to fucking follow the news and tell if something is complete bullshit? Thank you, Discord, for getting me the link to the files. We might have them on the screen momentarily.
They and others in the media are part of a plot. They want to continue this fraud for whatever reason. They want to keep it going. They want to protect the radical left. They can't have a great country, and that's true. You can't have a great country without free and fair elections. Fraud like this should mean a revocation of their licenses. They use our public multi-billion-dollar in value airways for absolutely no money. They pay nothing. All we want is honesty in our elections and honesty in reporting. They pay nothing for multi-billion-dollar assets. Great damage has been done to our country. Our elections were left vulnerable to being rigged and stolen, and the trust of the American people was lost. This cannot be allowed to continue. Every American, whether you're a Republican, Democrat, Independent, or otherwise, should be able to agree that we deserve the most secure, honest, and fair election system anywhere in the world. Secure elections should be a partisan, we should be together, Democrats, Republicans, Independents, everybody, and it should not be a partisan issue. It should cause to unite us, not to divide us. This should be a cause. We should be united, not divided. In light of the brand new and irrefutable information I have revealed tonight, my administration is in the process of notifying the states whose election data was compromised by the People's Republic of China and many others. We will be working closely to mitigate any harm, and we're taking swift action to ensure that sensitive voter data is better protected so we can never be bought, we can never be hacked, and we can never watch a stolen election again. Tomorrow, the Secretary of Homeland Security will hold a briefing to outline his department's recent work confirming cyber vulnerabilities in our electronic voting systems. They are bad. We're in the process of informing governors, senators, and members of Congress of potential issues in their states. If you look at voting today, it's in such bad shape in so many states.
Can't even fucking get their documents straight.
And we are committing to fix it. And we're also committing to be working with those states and local jurisdictions to help them fix and patch known technical vulnerabilities before the midterm elections. We have very important elections coming up. We want those elections to be honest. I've also ordered DHS to notify every state about non-citizens on their voter rolls and direct them to remove all ineligible
Non-citizens on the voter rolls is fucking nonsense. That's the big fucking lie about election fraud. He's going to be notifying them of what? How does a non-citizen get on the voter rolls? Am I tripping? Am I missing something? Like, I know that he says a lot of bullshit, but like, what the fuck?
eligible voters from the lists immediately. But most importantly, addressing this crisis of election security demands that Congress must pass the Save America Act. How easy is that to do unless you want to cheat? The only reason you wouldn't do it is you want to cheat because your policies are so bad and your candidates are so pathetic that you can't get away or can't get elected any other way. This landmark bill requires that all voters must show photo voter ID. How simple is that? Could I have your photo, please? Photo voter ID. All voters must provide proof of citizenship. Are you a citizen of our country, please? And hopefully there will be no corrupt mail-in ballots, which if you watched California and so many other places, mail-in ballots are inherently corrupt. So you would have...
You voted by mail, you bitch. What the fuck are you talking about?
No mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military deployment, or travel if you're going away on business or vacation. These
guys, this is the fastest paced bullshit I have ever fucking seen out of this man. The fact that he's got like this thinly veiled threat of like, oh, DHS is going to be notified. ICE is coming for you if you're fucking concerned about your elections. Yeah, chat said it too. He fucking votes by mail, and he's saying that they're inherently bad, even though the mail-in voting was originally created to make sure that our fucking soldiers could vote, elected officials in his case.
Reforms are urgently needed to stop the vulnerabilities that I've mentioned. To all Americans, I ask you to pick up your phone tomorrow, call your representatives in the House and Senate, and demand that...
That's why ABC and CNN need to do a better... Like, if you're afraid of covering this shit because you don't want to spend your day saying that it's bullshit on the air, he's going to create a call to action like this, and there's going to be a shitstorm in Congress of the phone ringing because people are concerned about all this bullshit that Trump... The people who are going to be calling their Congress people are not going to be people who can dig through this list of CIA documents and understand that it's a bunch of fucking bullshit. So they're going to be harassing their Congress people to get maybe the last few Republicans who haven't conceded yet or relented yet to get the Save America Act passed. It's this is fucking concerning because that's the sort of thing that can actually move mountains for people who are worried about their political careers. If their constituents are calling them saying you have to pass this, you have to pass the Save America Act, even though you know it's bad, even though you know it's going to disenfranchise people like your own fucking wife, like even though you know that, these people might relent. Like this is disinformation. This is propaganda in action. He knows that might have a difference. That might push the Save America Act over the fucking edge, as will potentially the rest of this in terms of having a major influence on the midterms. And ABC and CNN said they weren't going to cover it. Are they going to cover that it was a bunch of bullshit, or are they just saying that they aren't going to air it? I need to research what they decided to do about this, because if they bowed out of the fight because they're so afraid of this level of disinformation, it's like the hosts who fail to platform people on the debate space on TikTok because they're not skilled enough at refuting their bullshit live on the air, that they're just like, oh, that one's not for me. Fucking stop dropping the ball, mainstream media. It's fucking unacceptable. It's the president. You're not going to report on him because he said so much bullshit, and you'll get in trouble if you say it's bullshit. This is why I need to start a media company. Linktree in the bio.
That they pass the Save America Act without delay. Together we will restore faith and confidence in our country, and we will be bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. Thank you. God bless you. God bless our great military, and God bless America. Thank you very much.
That's it. That's fucking it. I mean, that's it, right?
Anything you'd like to jump back and revisit? That was Fast and Furious.
That was Fast and Furious. I expected him to ramble more. He was more on in terms of what he was trying to accomplish. He was far more on task than I expected him to be, even for a planned address like this. Yeah, I mean, okay, so here's the thing. We all know this, right? Like, we friendlies, we people who watch my platform and are kind of on team, anti-bullshit. We all know that this is bullshit, but now we have a fucking task. Now my entire job has just changed. Now every call into my show is going to be about this pile of bullshit that I don't have time by 10 a.m. tomorrow to get educated on how every document in this thing is fucking bullshit. That might be what I'm doing tonight. I might have to sit and fucking read these documents. I don't even know how many it was. I opened up the... Here, let's go back to... let's see if I can fix it really quick. Let's just put this over here. Yeah, let's put this over here. Because what we get is a zip file that you can download. Let's get rid of the other Chrome. That one. Yeah, there we go. Yay, I'm a good live streamer. And then we can get rid of this one. There. So we get this, like, zip file download, which... another thing that the administration does that's really goddamn frustrating is that they download things and they present information in ways that are difficult to read. This is what happened with the Epstein files. This is why there's resources that people have created to better navigate the Epstein files in a way that makes fucking sense. Like, hey, these pictures were taken on the same day. Maybe they should be in the same folder next to each other. Sometimes that's the case, sometimes not. Maybe these photos should have titles that make fucking sense about who's in them or something like that. Maybe you should be able to click from one picture to the next instead of closing the picture you just opened and reopening another one for every single picture instead of just clicking an arrow to the right. Like, the White House has the technology to make a better fucking website, but no, we have to download a zip folder and then extract it, and then I've dragged the folder address into Chrome so that I can show my audience the things that are in this zip folder. And if you don't know how to do that, which most people born outside of the 90s don't, then you don't know how to engage with this information that the president just gave to the fucking public. I happen to have technological capabilities, basic computer literacy that makes me able to dig into this shit, but most people aren't even able to get as far as opening one of these fucking documents, even to begin to start wondering what's redacted in them and why. Oh, classification? Black bar. What? How interesting are these unclassified documents? I am actually going to have to fucking read all these, because no, I can't sit here and tell you why each of these is bullshit on the air. But I can tell that this sort of bombshell announcement is ridiculous given the timeline of everything. The fact that a lot of the stuff he was complaining about on the stream is stuff that his first administration would have been guilty of before Biden even became president. And they've been sitting on it all this long to get this, where the final punchline of the speech is to get the Save America Act passed, not to do anything else about potential consequences for any of this other stuff. It's an obvious attempt to get his constituents, his people, his dumbass voters who aren't going to fucking open this zip file to try to figure out what all this shit means, riled up enough to trick their fucking the Republicans in Congress to pass the Save America Act and disenfranchise millions of voters. And now this is the pile of shit that I need to deal with. It's now my job to take people who can't do addition and get them to understand that this pile of documents does not mean that we should disenfranchise millions of people's voting rights. That's been my job all along, but, like, this is what's on my fucking plate now. Thoughts, Jesse?
That redaction looks different than, like, when it's scanned in as a redaction. Like, it looks different than that one. Is the other redaction possibly the kind where you can, like, highlight over it, put it in a new document, and it works?
Shit. Oh, no way. No way. Does it highlight? No fucking way. On this, No. It is redacted. Okay, it's not in there. Holy shit. That'd be fucking hilarious.
Hold on. Try somewhere else.
Try a different document.
Maybe,
that's the first thing, right? Let's see if we. This is a scan, so this isn't going to. That's not going to work.
I'm gonna let you.
This one's a scan. It's probably not. Yeah, this one won't even highlight. Chrome has gotten pretty good. This one didn't have redactions, but I don't even know. Hold on. If we go back to where this was the stuff about the vulnerabilities of the electronic voting and ballot counting system, because there are these 4 categories. We have 4 sets of documents: vulnerabilities in the voting system, China's acquisition and exploitation of American voter data, and then Michigan voter registration investigation, and non-citizens on state voter rolls. This is the one that's, like, the most obvious bullshit. So I think if we're going to spend a little bit of time tonight just looking at these, I think I'm going to jump into this first. So according to DHS, a review of state voter rolls and public records have identified approximately 278,000 non-citizens who are registered to vote in federal elections. Since Democrat states refuse to share their voter files, the real number is actually much higher, yet even this limited analysis found more than 250,000 foreigners illegally registered to vote. Okay, let's see. Okay, so again, it's going to be a fucking zip file. So let's go into this zip file. Let's extract it. Extract all. See, again, if you weren't born in the 90s, this is witchcraft. Let's take the location of this. Drop that in as an address in Chrome. Chrome works great as a file browser, everybody. If you have a file that you want to browse in Chrome or a file system, you can just drag the location on your disk drive to the search bar in Chrome, and it'll work. That way I don't have to screen capture Finder. Anyway, okay, here we go. Alien voter registration summary redacted. Voter registration database threats dash final. It says dash final. Are you looking at this, Jesse? Look at this. Voter registration database threats dash final.
Did I not literally pull up a thing in the middle that said this looks like a threat?
Okay, hold on. Okay, here we go. Deceased and non-citizen. Oh, look at this. These non-citizen numbers are fucking paltry compared to the deceased numbers, which again, these numbers just kind of make sense for how frequently people die. Look at that. The number is so big in Texas because the population is very, very big. Okay, even if these numbers are true, which I don't happen to think that they probably...
Wait, which one is 49 and still made the list?
Idaho. Fucking Idaho. Yeah, like even if these numbers on the right column are accurate, this is the sort of thing that I'm talking about where like these numbers are, this is noise on a presidential election. This is like one time in history there's been a margin in one state that was like kind of close like this, and it was Florida in 2000 when they had to count all the hanging chads and they had to decide whether or not those counted. That was before you were born, Jesse. You don't remember that one. I'm not going to pretend I remember that election, but I was alive for it, and I do happen to know that it does appear that there were more hanging chads in Florida than there are non-citizen voters in any of these fucking states. I don't actually know how many hanging chads
What are you
hanging
saying?
chads? They used voting punch cards, and the little piece of paper that comes out of the punch card is called a chad. And the thing that was like the Florida election, the presidential election was so close in 2000 between Bush and Gore that I think it made it all the way to the Supreme Court. Fucking chat, correct me if I'm wrong. They had to decide whether or not a chad that was disconnected but still hanging counted, because the margin was so close that started to matter. These little pieces of minutia about the point is, it's fucking rare that these sorts of numbers matter anywhere. And yeah, they're pointing out in the chat that it's red states here because they apparently don't have the voter rolls because they weren't forfeited over by the Democratic states, which they're just saying it's much worse in the Democrat states, even though they don't claim to have the evidence. But like, I'm sorry, is 4,000 votes going to swing Idaho red or blue for a presidential election? I don't think Idaho is a battleground state. Do we have any battleground states here? Georgia, we do. 42,000 deceased, which is conveniently more than the number he asked for when he was recorded talking to who? I forget which election official in Georgia it was. He was begging for something like, it's like 15,000 votes, wasn't it? Proactive save user states. Like, what the fuck? Okay, let's actually read how this is structured. National Security Investigations. The Department of Homeland Security has initiated multiple investigations related to allegations of non-citizen voting and registration. Review of the first set of public voter files from states that have not utilized the SAVE system revealed over 250,000 non-citizens. When you see this sort of like up the font size and bold it thing, it demonstrates to you that this isn't a serious document, by the way, just to be clear. Like if you see an important sentence in a paragraph bolded, it's because they're making sure that idiots who read it and don't pay attention to this stuff very carefully can like zoom in on the important part. It's just not the sort of thing you see out of an actual official government document or anything that's meant to be shared between two professionals. Like it's like Spark Notes level type shit. Like it's just that's just an artistic choice about font and boldness, but it's just my general impression as I read this, and I think people watch me to get my general impression. Okay. Over 250,000 non-citizens are illegally registered to vote in just 4 states for which the public data files have been reviewed. I don't know why we have a table here that includes 10 or something then. The state election officials in California, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Nevada have notified this serious threat to national security, and DHS stands ready to support their efforts to identify and remove ineligible registrants. The investigation is expanding to include multiple additional states. In addition, DHS will support the Department of Justice's review of voter files obtained pursuant to their enforcement authority under the National Voter Registration Act of 1993 and the Help America Vote Act of 2002. States that protect federal elections. Numerous proactive... Ooh, do I have the whole paragraph? Yes, I do. Numerous proactive, conscientious state officials have successfully utilized free services offered by Department of Homeland Security to assist election officials in identifying non-citizens who have registered and or voted in their states. In the short time, I wonder if they're like, I wonder where they're getting these bullshit numbers. Like, are they revoking people's citizenship? Is that a thing that the administration is doing? Because they could create these numbers by revoking enough people's. That's not how that works, though, right? I haven't heard about that. I'm just trying to invent ways that they've like come to these bullshit numbers. I don't know. I'm thinking out loud. Unambiguous contrast, there is an undeniable pattern emerging in DHS to unravel the horrific damage done by the open border policies of the Biden administration. Yes, which policy? Which piece of law? Which thing that they did? Which policy? No, they'll never fucking tell us. No caller will ever fucking tell me on my show. It's not going to fucking happen. States have adopted alien-first policies instead of American-first policies and have a disproportionate number of non-citizens on their voter rolls. Like, again, like this is just like propaganda as the closing paragraph on this document instead of anything about what the document says that it's about. Okay, here we go. Voter registration database threats - final. What is this? Recognizing and addressing threats to statewide voter registration database. Oh God, I have to fucking read all this tonight. History of voter registration system breaches. The Russian government, Riverside County, California, revealed that a bad actor used the state's voter registration website to change the party affiliation of a large number of registered voters. There's a citation for that. I wonder what large is considered. Russian actors, where's the Chinese actors? That wasn't in this category of documents, but...
Yeah, next line.
Next line, where?
Down.
Oh, yeah. Chinese state-sponsored cyber actors aggressively targeted U.S. critical infrastructure to steal sensitive data and personally identifiable information. Yeah, I mean, China, that's plausible. China does that type of stuff, but what does it have to do with our election security? Suspected Chinese cyber actors scanned both election-related and non-election state governments' websites. Others suspected PRC cyber actors also collected publicly available U.S. voter information. New Hampshire election officials discovered that a vendor selected to replace the state's aging voter system database had offshored part of the project. The software had been configured to connect to servers in Russia, and a programmer had hard-coded the Ukrainian national anthem into the database. The issues were corrected prior to deployment. Tavi saying, of course, Riverside County, fuck Chad Bianco. I'm unfamiliar. Guys, I feel like I should just talk to the chat. Like, this is too big a pile of bullshit. We need to sift this. We should just talk to the chat and like see like what the plan is for tomorrow. Engage your plan. If you detect unauthorized access to your voter registration database, Jesse, have you detected any unauthorized access to your voter registration database lately? Mic stand just fell apart.
Personally, no.
Personally, no. Yeah, I think you're going handheld for the evening. That's kind
I
of.
do believe I am.
Yeah, I think we need to link tree in the bio. We need more mic stands here in Oskar Quentin Studios.
Just needs to not mess with hers, is what I'm gathering.
No, that's not the first time. It's fun. Just take the mic off of it and like.
Well,
It's the threading. The threading is ripped out on that. It doesn't want to go back in properly. It was
Yeah. Okay.
just you'll manage. You'll manage. I believe in you. What the fuck, people? Elusive Viper says $100 says they get the 250K numbers as partial matches against immigration registries. Well, yeah, like it's just gonna be like, oh, this first name and last name matches, and it's like, yeah, you know, like some common Spanish name probably. I don't know, chat. What the fuck do we do? We're not on TikTok, so we're not actually really equipped to take calls. I'd have to like set up Zoom or something.
I feel like calling the dead people, as literally said in one of the documents, they call them dead people, which is how immediately I was like, oh, this is unserious, because any serious government document would say deceased. Dead people is not official. But I feel like just seeing that, and they're lumping that into the non-citizens category, I feel like is very dishonest when they're trying to create specific hatred towards like aliens rather than dead people.
Well, and the you know, the unseriousness of this is like so demonstrates to me the type of could you do me a favor? Could you pull up that fucking horrible alien website thing?
Oh, yes, of course I can.
We need to talk about that because this is, at the end of the day, none of this is serious. It is a fucking waste of intelligent people's time to look at this shit, but we have to fucking spend our time sifting through this pile of bullshit.
This window?
Yeah, and that window's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we can have you find it in real time. We can see how buried it is because I didn't talk about this much on air. I didn't give it a lot of attention. It was just like kind of another thing that got lost in the news cycle. But Jesse, you showed me this, right?
I did.
Yeah, this was something that I like fell for a moment, because this website exists on the web on the White House website. This is at whitehouse.gov. This joke that we're all about to look at and realize isn't a joke halfway through. For 60 years, the U.S. government has kept a closely guarded secret. Aliens have been walking among us, living in our neighborhoods, and interacting with us in our daily lives. So this looks like some Area 51 type of bullshit. Like, this looks like a fucking joke. This isn't a joke, guys. They're talking about fucking humans. They're talking like there's millions arrived under the cover of darkness and embedded themselves directly into our society. Like they are propagandizing human beings as the fucking gray aliens that we joke about from fucking Roswell. Instead of protecting American citizens, they chose to cover it up and even accelerate the invasion. Like, this type of fucking language is horrifically inhumane. They're treating them as inhumans. They're treating them as fucking space aliens. So I was looking at this website thinking, what a fucking joke. And then I get down here. The truth is no longer out there. It is right here, right now. And then scroll to continue. And then here's the number of fucking encounters. And then there's an arrest map, which zooms in on roughly where I live. But we can zoom out and see that this alien encounters map is just a fucking like ICE activity map. Have you guys seen this?
It's an ICE arrest map.
It's an ICE arrest map. They're like joking about these fucking people being taken out of their fucking homes, snatched on their way to work so their kids can worry about them at the end of the day like they're fucking space aliens. When I saw this, I cried when I fucking saw this. I like had a moment. It like fucked my day up because I've never seen such horrible, inhumane propaganda out of my own government. And Trump has been the president of it for something like 6 years total. This is fucking insane. This is fucking... Yeah, the chat's reacting as though they haven't seen this. This wasn't a very big story. Jazz sent $5 on YouTube Super Chat. We can start reading the messages because Trump's not on the air anymore. We don't need to worry about airtime. The number of dead voters makes me think they took the voter records from the last time and checked against current death records and said dead voters. That's immediately what I said when I saw the numbers. I said, this looks like a reasonable number of people to just like have died, but the paperwork hasn't gone through yet. That's my first hypothesis, that we look at these dead voters. They're people who died like this calendar year, and just aren't, like, the paperwork's not fucking done yet. There's always going to be a buffer of people for whom that paperwork isn't done. The convenient thing about the dead voters that are still on the dead voter rolls when the election comes around is that they're dead, so they don't vote. Yes, they're registered. Maybe the state paperwork doesn't process that fucking quickly. But yeah, this fucking website is fucking insane. And then look. Here's my neighborhood. Total arrest 937. Wow, how fucking unimpressive given that this includes a chunk of Metro Surge. Criminal charges, assault, bribery, burglary, commercialized sexual offenses, Congress. Criminal charges, one of them is just Congress. Damaged property, dangerous drugs, etc. Yeah, these are just things that Trump has done. This is a list of things that Trump has done. Count countries of origin, just a list of places for people to be fucking racist against after fucking reading this. Like, this website is curated to list dangerous things that people from these places have done in your home, to sow xenophobia against people from these fucking places. I don't know why I didn't do more reporting on this. I think maybe I just let it slide into the news cycle because I was so fucking upset about it. But they launched this fucking recently, and it just hasn't gotten enough attention. And after today, I'm just like, we're fighting the fucking meme wars, people. Like, we're in the trenches of the goddamn meme wars, and they're gonna fucking win because they have a better web designer than me. We need to get the worker bees working on the Oskar Quentin website, because part of what me and Jesse, the producer, were talking about today is just getting our sources better in order. I kind of have this jumbled pile of bookmarks that I use live on the show, but I need a cleaner interface to just look at a bunch of this information, because so many people can't take in information from the original source, like a data release from a polling company or a data release from the EPA or something like that, where it's like a boring table and I have to interpret it and like highlight something on the screen and say, like, I promise this number means this. Like, we need to infographic some of this shit honestly so that people can actually see what the fucking information is, instead of taking in fucking propagandized bullshit like this. This is what we're talking about when we say the Democrats are fucking losing on vibes, fucking losing on the message, losing on presentation. It's like, this fucking website, god damn it, it looks kind of good. Like, if I booted up a video game and it looked like this, I'd be like, oh cool, we're gonna like fly some spaceships or something. This looks fun. But no, this is fucking heartbreaking. President Trump was the first to call out the real danger aliens pose to every American family, every community, and the future of our nation. And it's just like, fucking heartbreaking.
If I may.
Of course.
Katie Myers said that dehumanizing people tends to lead to bad things. The day that we found that I showed Oscar this website, we sat and just talked about the fact that this is that step that I didn't quite think we'd cross on the dehumanization scale. This is the point in history where we stopped calling them people.
Yeah. That's right, you know, like they think it's a fucking joke. So it was already like falling off the euphemism treadmill to call them illegal aliens, you know, or people don't like that I call them illegal immigrants. I kind of just do it out of a lack of a better term for. I always say people who don't have their documents in order. That encompasses all of the non-legal residents of the country well, but illegal immigrants covers everybody better than saying like undocumented immigrants, because plenty of illegal immigrants are documented. Their documents are just expired or whatever the fuck it is. But to go with just aliens and then to make it like not this technical thing where like, all right, it used to be a more acceptable term to just call somebody from another country an alien, like, you know, just foreign, just another synonym for foreign. Like they're going the extra step of specifically making sure that people recognize that it's being used in a non-human way, intentionally dehumanizing the term alien even further than it already was, that it, you know, the amount it already took for it to fall off the euphemism treadmill and fall out of common usage, because it's a fucked up way to talk about human beings. Sorry for the buy me a coffees I'm not looking at. I'm just a little distracted. I think everybody watching this knows that.
Well, he catches up to that. To bring up something moderately uncomfortable but directly relevant in World War II, we did not start by calling Jewish people not human. It started with posters that talked about behavior that we compared to specifically rats. And then we started drawing them that way. And we started making cartoons. Okay, I'm saying we. This was Nazi Germany. But they started making these cartoons. They slip you there. Then we come up with this joke website that you take not so wholeheartedly. You aren't offended instantly upon getting there. They are getting you comfortable with the dehumanization step by step. And if you sit there and you watch a documentary on how propaganda specifically fueled us all the way to genocide, it starts to look scary.
Report suspicious aliens. ICE tip line.
Rat on your neighbors.
Rat on your fucking neighbors. And then here, like, just furthermore, like, just to keep going through this, classified addendum, declassified 2026. This isn't a fucking classified document. This bullshit at the top is meant to trick Trump supporters into feeling, ooh, Daddy Trump declassified some important shit for me to see. No. This isn't some important fucking document from the Pentagon. This is some bullshit they typed into a website. There's no fucking way that what I'm about to... there's no way they weren't little green men. These aliens are the millions of illegals who invaded our country under the cover of darkness. President Trump told the truth. The cover-up is over. Secure the border. Deport them all. No, this little fucking rectangle on this website isn't fucking declassified. It's just pure propaganda. I'm fucking upset, man. This is making me upset all the fuck up over again. Go get my Chrome pouch. We're entering the stream by smoking a joint on the air. This is YouTube. We're not going to get in trouble. People wonder how I fucking deal with this shit. I'm a lot cooler when I'm not through the TikTok filter. The blue pouch is on the bed. Yeah, the Chrome pouch. It's Chrome brand. Canadian Vicky, thank you for the $25 for the new mic stand for Jesse. We do need to get more rigging for the studio. It's a lot of bubblegum and duct tape holding this fucking place together. For fuck's sake. I think there's an ashtray on the stove. I'm pulling an Andrew Mercado and we're smoking a joint while reading the news. Ashtray.
Oh. This guy.
Yeah. I use a shot glass as an ashtray because I have cats and they don't drape their tail in it if it's a shot glass.
Does chat want to go back to any point in the speech and like rehash?
Yeah, I mean, chat, if you want to cover any particular part of this, let me know. Let me know. Somebody's referencing the Andrew Mercado safety meetings. They fucking get it. Fucking Discord's disgusted by this website. Like, can we just be fucking disgusted by this? Stay informed on illegal alien encounters in your area. Like, should we sign this shit up? Like, do we sign up for this fucking mailing list? Do we want to know what they're fucking sending people?
We can.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
gonna be honest.
Let's just put the here's the burner email, the obvious one that everybody would think of. So it's not actually an email I care about. Let's sign up for it. Let's not give them my phone number.
Somebody signed me up for that, by the way, and I think they continue to do it because I get those damn texts, and every time I hit unsubscribe, they show up again. I think my ex is doing it.
Yeah, this website's fucking insane. Katie Myers sent $5 to say there's also a MAGA pastor who had to who had a fake execution of an immigrant they already are conditioning people to accept. Is that the video I saw with like a bunch of kids in a church where they're like, they have like a bunch of like armed men like dressed as ICE agents like come in and
thing?
What?
That's a real thing.
Yeah, I studied it for a while. It looked a little AI for me because I was like, you know, one of the quick ways to check if a video involving a crowd of people is AI is just look at all the people because when you AI will often generate a crowd and you'll be like, there's 4 types of people in this crowd. There's guy with the sunglasses and the polo shirt. They're like, it's almost like they've copy and pasted. They'll all be a little AI mixed up and different, but like the AI really is hard at generating a crowd of unique looking people. But churches are really bad at generating crowds of unique looking people. So, I was a little
words out of my mouth.
I was a little confused looking at this video of a church congregation, wondering if it was AI because I don't know, could be either. But I studied it and I don't think it was AI. Maybe we could find it. Maybe the Discord could find it quick. Put that in either the operational chat or the chatter if somebody finds it. You know, but like it's like that sort of like early fucking indoctrination shit that's absolutely fucking crazy. Kronos for $5 says, I get to join in on the joint. W, Jesse, and Oscar. Also, if you're looking for more worker bees in here, I'm here if you need Kronos. You're absolutely eligible to be a worker bee. The worker bee role, just to talk to everybody watching, like the worker bee role on Discord is meant to really just be an extension of my hand. Like they aren't even really fact checkers for me. I want myself fact checked, so they do some fact checking for me. But because they're like my worker bees with me as queen bee, like ain't nobody gonna believe what the worker bees say about fact checking. Like that's just not what they're for. They are for doing work for me, whatever it might be. So I'm probably going to draft a big message. I will say this, if you're watching this and you're in my Discord, I will process a bunch of messages tonight. Message me if you want to be a worker bee, because we might have a huge worker bee task that we need more for. I have not been on it with getting the worker bees set up to do that work effectively for me. But anyway, my greater point about them is that if you have a skill that's useful to the show, you can become a worker bee if I trust you with it. But the idea is that instead of just having everybody in the Discord send me a mess of sources in a bunch of different formats and stuff, I'm just writing up some basic rules on how to get me information live on the air in a way that I can use, in a way that's not distracting, in a way where I'm not like sitting there like reading, trying to figure out which part of an article to read. So we're making a bit of a handbook for some of the common everyday tasks that I want to be able to throw at the worker bees. But if you're particularly dedicated, which, you know, I know who those users are, or if you have a special skill, and some of those users know who they are, those are the certain things that we're after in terms of developing an army that can get to work on these things quickly. Because I'm sitting here regretting not having gotten the worker bees up to speed as a system better by today, because today's a perfect day for it. We have a dump of fucking documents. We could have divided and conquered. Perhaps we can by morning, because I'll hop on the Discord right when I conclude the stream to start looking at some of that stuff. Because we got a mess of fucking documents to get through. I don't know why there hasn't been a more organized effort from the public on the fucking Epstein files. Where are the public's worker bees? The Epstein Reddit tried to do it, but they just couldn't get organized enough. They couldn't figure out a way to like allocate different slices of the Epstein files to dedicated people who would actually turn up and go through them properly. Like I don't know of any successful, comprehensive effort to get one organized group of people to get eyes on every publicly available Epstein file.
CoffeeZilla's group did a pretty good job of divide and conquer and getting a lot of stuff out, and CoffeeZilla ended up putting a pretty good cohesive video together on what was found. I don't know if you follow CoffeeZilla.
No.
Widely trusted and regarded as trustworthy.
Yeah, I know. I know. I see their shit. I just don't like follow them very closely. Do I have a Discord? Link tree in the bio. Discord is in the link tree. I should see. This is just like producer stuff, but we should have put the link. We should start putting the link tree in the auto description for all these live streams, so that I can say it's in the description when we're just on YouTube. I say in the bio because that's correct on every platform, but here we're just on YouTube, looking at fucking alien propaganda, smoking a joint after seeing a bunch of fucking bullshit fall out of the president's mouth. What is this fucking timeline? Do you remember being a kid? Do you remember Pokemon and the playground and shit? Like, what the fuck happened?
Well, I mean, I quite often ask people of age, people who were around for the last several elections, and chat. I want to hear from you guys because I know some of you guys have been around for more elections than me and Oscar. Did it always feel this polarizing? Because my dad, who leans a little too far to the right, often says that it's always been this polarizing, but I just don't think we'd be where we are today if it was. I get there's always been discourse, but the polarization specifically.
Well, and it's like it is hard to find stable uniparty positions, and like when we think about what we want for the country, it's like, wouldn't it be great if everybody thought like me? But like, how does that actually progress through decades, right? Like, what's the stability of that system? And then we could go the other way instead of saying that it's polarized between two parties. Like, if we have a true third party system where people just elect somebody that's like really much more in favor of what they want, and we get that like super ranked choice system. The game theory of it is still kind of hairy, right? Like, that's like, how stable is that system? How does it actually work out? We don't really know. But seeing as like we were running the country on slavery not that long ago, on the global stage pretty fucking recently, we were enslaving a whole bunch of people. We still enslave some people. We're the ones we say deserve it, I guess. but it's fewer people relative to the population. I don't know. I think people are like uncreative when they think about what government's going to look like in the 21st century.
Go ahead and elaborate on that one. Uncreative.
Yeah, I think that since we've gotten an industrialized society, which really changed how a lot of the responsibilities of a government work, right? Like, I'm thinking post like 1800s. Like, we had the Renaissance, we had the scientific revolution 100 years before that or so, and then we had like 100 years later that had showed up as a bunch of technology that really changed industry and infrastructure. The cities really started to become modern in the way that we imagine. We've had like 150 years of fucking it up, and on the scale of human history, that's not very long. Oh. So like, maybe there is some like system of governance that is some combination of these things that works really well, that is stable. Maybe that's slightly different from country to country, which is why countries have different governments. But it's like the things I argue about with the leftists all the time. It's like, what do you want? How does this work? Like, communism is supposed to be stateless. Okay, yeah, but you like, what, like no speed limit? What are we talking about? Like at what point does it just become libertarianism again, which we know doesn't work for other reasons? I don't know. When I was young, I wanted to live to be very, very old so I could see as much of it happen as possible because I was so curious. And now I'm a little bit older and I feel the same way. I just forgot that it might suck to live through some of it.
Vote Blue No Matter Who responds to our earlier prompt with when I asked if it was polarizing. Definitely. I'm assuming, Vote Blue, that you are old enough to have lived through several elections. It's always been polarizing, they say. We didn't know the extent until social media. After 9/11, Bush had a 90% approval rating. He quickly destroyed that. So, Oscar, the question I have for you, social media, that is a great point. Do you think that is the pivot point that made it feel so polarizing?
Well, yeah, and I think it's a matter of it's the worst half of society, the more evil half that's going to weaponize a new tool in some unfair way. Because, any reasonable person can look at social media and be like, if you buy up the companies that make the social media and you trick their algorithms into peddling bullshit, the masses will believe the bullshit. This is the greatest machine for propaganda that's ever been created. You used to have to fucking like fly a plane and drop pamphlets into a city. Now you can just fucking buy ad space. You can fucking have dinner with a billionaire, suck his dick, give him some money. I don't know. Whatever the exchange of power is, vote for a particular thing. Whatever people do, whatever powerful people do to trade influence, you do a little bit of that. And now we have this mechanism where it's just like everybody is addicted to a little fucking shiny rectangle that they carry around, and it shows them stuff, and they'll vote based on what stuff they get seen. So assholes like me have to swim upstream to get shown to these people, be like, hey, don't believe all the shit that you're looking at. Most of it's wrong. Believe me, I'm telling the truth, I promise. Like,
straight to that point, username Nee 878 said it's not social media, it's engagement driven algorithms. Do you think the rage bait of it all is accelerating this at a larger scale? And do you feel like you ever lean into that rage bait to drive your own content?
Oh yeah, of course I do. I mean, like, I have to. I like, what do you mean? Like, what part of rage bait? I use rage bait as a mechanism to drive engagement so that the numbers on the video are better for the goal of the video, which is to show my worldview to people.
I mean, that's exactly it, though.
Yeah. Well, because I wouldn't, like, spoiler alert, everybody, you don't get to do it if you don't do that. You don't get, like, you don't get shown to people. You don't get to pay your bills with it. You don't, like, none of all that shit that happened. You might get to do it for fun on the side, but nobody will watch your videos. So, like, I'm honest about it when people ask me directly. Chuds asked me about it on the debate stream. I'm like, yep, nope, sign's not actually 100% accurate. It's like, this one, if you ask me about it, I'll just say, like, yeah, I just needed to get it in a few enough words for you to see it while you were scrolling and stop and ask me about it. And I'll tell you, like, yeah, the sign's hyperbole, but what you think about Trump is reprehensible, and I'd really like to discuss that with you. But like that type of, and then like that little switcheroo is fun for people because they're taken aback because they came in swinging about the sign, and I'm like, no, I'm actually going to be hyper reasonable, and then they don't know how to like connect with that, and their inability to do it is a demonstration of like the character flaws I'm trying to point out. So it's this like super multi-dimensional problem, but I look at all of it. But I tell that to the audience because like I'm not a liar. Like I have to have this foundation of authenticity where I have to tell the truth. That's like rule number one. This is the whole point of what I'm doing is like people believe all this bullshit and I'm trying to fix that. So I have to do my best of my ability to tell the truth. Wrong sometimes, I'm a human. So I correct it and put the corrections in the description and shit. It's like that comes first. But like beyond that, I think that for me to most effectively convince somebody that my worldview is a good one, they have to listen to long form content like the 240 people who are listening to me fucking yap to you right now. And the shorts are just advertisements to get people to that, because a short that's successful is like never one that accomplishes the mission statement of the show very well. It's just somebody being like a total doofus, just saying something really dumb while I'm like politely trying to get them to say something less dumb, or maybe I'm being mean to them, or like whatever it is, like whatever this lowbrow shit that I post is. It's like, maybe I can trick those people into watching one of the longer, more nuanced videos, and they go, I want to see the rest of this. So they go to the link tree in the bio and they come and they listen to me talk for hours, and they're like, this guy gets it. Maybe, I don't know. Like maybe this guy has a good outlook. Maybe this guy's like ethics system around suffering is like one that would make the world decent. That's the goal. That's what I'm trying to do.
I feel like your type of debate style, since you're breaking it down for the general public, for the people who have questions, whether they're angry or not, does a good job of hand-holding anyone through your thought process. I feel like
I think about the audience so much more than the caller.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, fuck the caller? Like, most of the time, I'm not gonna change their mind. Sometimes, if I detect that I can change their mind, fuck the audience. All right, I know you're only 19. You know, like fuck the viewers. I stop looking at all the numbers. I'm like, I got one. I'm gonna zoom the fuck in on this fucked up kid who's got TikTok brain, and we're just gonna see if he's even self-aware about his TikTok brain. First of all, like whatever thing is, it's terrible for viewership. Doesn't make good clips. Even the clips that are like a kid like confessing that I've truly changed their worldview. That happened just the other day on the show. That clip gets, like, I've got 100,000 Instagram followers. That clip gets 10,000 views from my most dedicated Instagram followers. And, like, that's nice. Good job.
I feel like you've kind of proved that that's a better way of getting your point across than the traditional politician versus politician debate. Do you think there's room in the future of politics for this sort of debate to take hold?
I challenge every elected official to spend 2-3 hours a week doing what I do.
Debate the people who don't support.
Put your money where your mouth is. Sit down, have a fucking conversation with a member of the public, and talk to them about your political position. Like, most of our fucking elected officials aren't that fucking busy. Sure, you'd need call screeners. Sure, you'd need structure around it, but there's so much less discourse because these people are unattainable. How ridiculous. They're supposed to be of the people. Like, you can find fucking Mamdani walking down the damn street because he's a New Yorker, and he makes a point of making himself available in that way, which is why so many people have experiences with him, which, you know, it's like kissing babies for the PR or whatever. but like he does fucking live streams on TikTok where he talks to people. Like he does. Yeah. He's live on TikTok sometimes. I like pop in and I'm like, oh fuck, how neat. Like I don't live in New York anymore, but like, I used to, so I know what he's talking about when he's talking about all the programs. Like why are politicians these fucking inaccessible people, but like some random asshole can call Dean Withers and he has more political influence in this country than like, if we're going to talk about state level representatives, there's like 5,400 state level representatives for like different state congresses in the United States. Like Dean Withers solely has more influence than most of those individuals, but those are people who you can't call on the phone.
Yes.
Like what the fuck? Like you can leave him a message, like an angry message that some secretary's gonna like write down like, yeah, more angry messages about you not signing this bill. You don't have to flounder. He doesn't have to flounder on camera with people interrogating him about the bullshit he said. Can you imagine how hard it would become for a politician to bullshit if they had to take calls from the public 2 hours a week on camera, post it to the internet, whether they like it or not?
Do you think it could go in both directions? Have you had your mind changed on stream? I feel like you've had in at least minute ways. Do you think that's a good thing for politics if the politicians themselves are more receptive to changing based on what the people in their state want to happen? If you're sitting there listening to it.
I just think it would force that kind of honesty, you know? Like I've changed my mind about things on air. Nothing too catastrophic to my whole worldview. But I've had the vegetarianism conversation online, which I'm super open about because I just see, I see a lot of, you know, there's a lot of stuff I can't answer to the vegetarian to. I don't have like an ironclad thing, so I'm just open. I say I'm a fence sitter. I relate to the people who call in and say they're fence sitters, and people are like, how can you be a fence sitter? And I'm like, I can imagine being a fence sitter about being a vegetarian, but I'm one who eats meat. So that's like I'm a fence sitter who voted for Trump and hasn't switched sides yet. And it's like, I can imagine like an ethical perspective more refined than mine, looking at me, seeing me as the foolish fence sitter when there's an obvious side of the fence to be on. So I can amplify that to something more obvious, to somebody who has a smaller worldview, which is like a Trump supporter sitting on the fence, and like want to reach that person. And if you're a politician, you're supposed to be educated, so you're not supposed to be like the foolish Trump fence sitter. But fuck, man, pick somebody in history who's gotten everything right.
Alexander Ham. I'm just kidding.
Well, no, right? Like every you go read a Wikipedia article, they were all terrible. So, you know, just fucking wear the egg on your face when you are, right? Like that's the grown-up thing to do. That's the better thing to do for fucking society. Especially if you have power, you know? Like the moment you're wrong, the moment you realize you're wrong about something, just like correct course. Don't like steer the ship in the wrong direction because you're too embarrassed that you got your navigation wrong at the beginning of the day. Like it might get you reelected. But
yeah, I agree with Moonlocker. Instead of fight the internet easily and easy info, Dems need to embrace the double-edged sword, and Zoran was successful. Yeah, so maybe that success launches us into this new era. Maybe the success of Dean and Oskar launches us into this new era.
You know, I think this space is more valuable than people see it as, in terms of making a difference in political discourse, because it seems to be the only honest way to swim against the current in terms of what the algorithms are disproportionately serving to people. Because like I remember early on when I started growing, I was talking to Dr. Dankenstein a lot about how I was like making money, wasn't totally paying all my bills, but it mattered, and I didn't need to work so much at my normal jobs. But I had this thought of like, wow, I'm fucking hosed if my TikTok account gets banned. Like I'm fucking, you know, like that curtains on me if that happens. I go right back to square one because I just like don't have the grasp of in the community, the foothold in the community to survive an account coming down when it's the one that the show is run through, even if it's the one that like not most of the money is run through. It's just where most of the content is generated. But I've grown to a point now where I've like said it on the show that like it is nice that if the TikTok, like if I was banned from TikTok across the board entirely, wasn't allowed to make any accounts, wasn't allowed to be on there at all. Well, I'm big enough now that I could just run the show on any streaming platform, and enough people would follow me that I'd immediately be popular there, and I'd be able to keep at it. So if suddenly I'm disconnected from the social media, I'm just famous enough that I can go to any social media and be like, this is where I am. And you know, like it'd be a big slowdown. It'd be a bummer if I had to like switch to Twitch with no notice or something, but I could do it. So there seems to be a way to make an individual popular through this thing that's like bigger than what any particular algorithm says about you. So I think that that's like what I'm trying to leverage to get my point across. Yeah.
What do you think of all the people who say you should run for office while we're on the topic?
See, like, the joke I tell is like, I started a new thing at the beginning of my 30s. Maybe I'll start a different thing at the beginning of my 40s. But then I'm like, but that's how you end up one of those old rich white guys, right? Like you wait too long, you do too much, and then you think you're fucking hot shit for whatever you did, and then you're like 70 and running for president. I don't fucking want to be president though. Being president looks fucking miserable, and I don't think I'd be good at it. I could see myself being a mayor of a place. I could see myself being mayor of Minneapolis.
No.
In like 15 years?
I will die on this hill. There is not, the mayor of Minneapolis is a losing game. Name, anybody in chat, name a mayor of Minneapolis that was liked by more than 2 people.
I'd walk into that fire for my city. Fuck my career.
You have to work with the police, and the city of Minneapolis will never agree with their police.
Maybe the police will be a different thing in 15 years.
Here's to hoping.
Here's to hoping, right? We're getting to an inflection point in terms of like institutionalized problems in policing and how that's being weaponized against the people by a you know. I think people watching this know my opinions about the current government. Up to no good, that government. They're doing some bad shit, and I think that a lot of the issues around law enforcement generally are going to come to a head here of some kind. So, you know, I try not to be too fucking optimistic, but I think that there's a chance that reform will accelerate.
Yeah.
I should full screen myself. Why didn't I think of that?
Raven chimed in, was like, please full screen yourself. You're just platforming an awful website, which is a great point.
I kind of had that thought halfway through of it being up for so long, and I was like, it's going to create more discussion about it because it's randomly up there. And here that is happening.
I do want to jump back.
Engagement baiting everybody.
I do want to jump back to Dale's point here, because they've said it a couple times in chat, and I do agree. That speech wasn't for us. It was for his lunatic base. He's trying to activate them, a la J6.
Mm-hmm.
Sow doubt and preload doubt into the upcoming elections. Tell me how you feel about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I said that roughly on air, that like he said some things so nonsensical that like no reasonable person educated on fucking anything about this country or the world really would believe it. Like I pointed a couple of them out. One was that he said that like our elections are like the shittiest on the planet, like compared to even the worst third world country, and that's just nonsense. You know, that's just ridiculous. Like that's like saying that like Minneapolis is the most dangerous place on the planet. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, bombs don't fall from the sky here.
It read like a rally. Did you notice that Trump held for applause multiple times?
You sounded a little out of breath. You want to read that one, Jesse?
No, it's for you.
It's for, yeah, I guess that.
Hell.
I don't know. Mary, thank you very much for the $100 on YouTube Super Chat. Your apprehension is exactly what makes you right for the job. In elected office or not, thank you for doing what you do. I suppose it feels impersonal to read it. I don't know why, but thank you so fucking much, Mary. Yeah, I think... I guess am I apprehensive? Is that the word for it?
He's not apprehensive. I'm constantly in his ear saying, don't run for office. Please, for the love of God.
I mean, no, but like... All I'm saying is that I'm not going to rule it out as something I might do in like my 40s, because I think that the political landscape, like that's so obviously like a dumb thing for me to do in any kind of any election that's on anybody's mind right now, like the next 4 or 8 years of like that is ridiculous. Don't be silly. The only reason it would ever become reasonable for me to become a politician is if I became so amazingly popular that I'd sweep the election and be an upset candidate. Yeah, that's what Trump did.
Have you seen the write-in person campaigning right now in Minneapolis or in Minnesota for governor?
The write-in.
You haven't.
We're not talking about Evanstad, right?
No. He's on the ballot.
Yeah, I thought Evanstad was on the ballot.
Yeah. No, there's someone I noticed because they've pretty much gone through your followers, started following us and picking on us one by one. I've gotten like 3 DMs from them.
Are they seeking an endorsement?
I don't think an endorsement by any means. I think they're just looking for people in Minneapolis. But I'll update that on that later so that you can have a proper discussion about it. Maybe you even have them on.
I mean, I've had some bullshit gubernatorial candidates on the show before.
Absolutely. You can see if you could tear them apart, or if they have your endorsement. What better way to find out than live on the air?
Well, that's like the sort of idea with like, still need to schedule with Doug Chapin, as people haven't gotten back to me on another Sunday. I was
gonna say, because they're literally in my DMs. So
the Chapin people?
No,
they're in my DMs anyway. Yeah, I didn't know. I'm surprised I didn't know about that already. That's your job. You're supposed to tell me about those things. I suppose you're just doing it now on the air. But how long has this been going on?
I found it this morning.
Okay, fair. We've been busy today. Yeah.
I think somebody did just drop their name in chat. Somebody else is aware.
Where? I don't see it. No, I might have gotten lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing about, like, the reason it would be so terrible now is because, like, the political landscape is so incompatible with somebody so honest as myself. Like, there's just no way to even start to do it. It's like the sort of thing I wonder about for all the, like, candidates that I have to apathetically support, where it's just like, yeah, this asshole who's, like, running as a Democrat in this red state. Yeah, I should probably vote for him because he's just he's the lesser asshole. But it does suck to root for assholes. It's an asshole's game. I don't consider myself an asshole. Unless somebody's being an asshole to me, then I become an asshole right away. Which I think maybe is an important skill for a politician in a world where honesty matters, but it's just not fucking living in that world. But yeah, that's the big question, right? The leftist right, like, is the whole system bad? Like, do we need to, like, completely burn it down? I don't fucking want that. But, like, it is super fucking broken. So what can happen in the next 10 or 15 years? Like, what is it that I'm thinking can, like, get it to a place there? And I just think it is coming to a head in terms of the bullshit. The fact that the president can go and give, like, that looked like something out of a fucking movie, that speech. The nonsense he said. This fucking, bullshit alien website we're looking at. It seems unstable. It doesn't seem sustainable, this state of affairs. So I think that regardless of what happens in the next 5 or 10 years, it's going to be fucking dramatic. And politics in America is going to change. I hope for the better. I think there's enough people getting fed up about it for it to change for the better, for that to be demanded. And I suppose that's what I do, right? I try to get more people upset about it. I try to get more people to believe the truth. And if you believe the truth and you have good ethics, you should be very upset about what's going on. So I tell people the truth, and I tell people what my, like, ethical foundations are. And I hope that they can come to the conclusion that it's a fucking emergency what's happening. For them, for their neighbors, for, like, however nice it's been to live in America instead of somewhere else these last couple 100 years. Not for everybody, obviously, but, like, for more people as time goes on.
If we had to improve the education to get these people to where they need to be, is it in social studies class or is it in history?
I mean, you need both, right? Like, one doesn't make sense without the other. The line between them gets blurry. But I think what's going on right now is so much more foundational, like we being literate is so important, just generally, like, to live a good life, to be able to do interesting things, to be able to have independence, to be able to figure out, like, how to go navigate the parts of the world you want to navigate. Like, being literate is just so valuable. Because wherever the information is, you're capable of going and finding it and getting and ingesting it without somebody else's help. Like, the more literate you are, the better you are at that. Which is why I always say to these people who, like, argue trans issues for hours on TikTok Live, like they're fucking experts. It's like, you learned a bunch of biology talking points from somebody who hates trans people instead of being curious about, like, what, the correct stance on trans people should be, and then, like, going and learning some biology. Like, go read a fucking biology book. Go like take a fucking biology course somewhere. Like go learn something. Go just fucking get educated. So when you talk about it, you don't sound like a doofus. And maybe along the way, you'll come to a less hateful conclusion. And that's what you'll be defending. Like, so it just like comes down to these basic skills before anything right now.
Question from chat. Do you think influencers and people with social media followings will be able to unseat party-backed candidates? I feel like the Democratic Party holds the wrong people back. Oh, and a great super chat came in.
Yeah. Hold on. Here, they hold. Give me the last bit again. I want to hear the wording of the question.
Yeah, absolutely. I scrolled away from it.
Oh shit.
But they did. They said the Democratic Party holds the wrong people back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as we push the Overton window to the left, it becomes more and more acceptable to different constituents to have what people who are more centrist Democrats, more like establishment Democrats, as I generally call them, like we're getting to a point where it's a little bit more acceptable, right? Like they're not pushing people like Mamdani out, right? Mm-hmm. We've had Bernie on the stage for quite a while now. We've had AOC, who was a surprise candidate, right? Like the normally the establishment pushes somebody like that out, but she just gained enough local popularity. And I always talk about New York as an interesting example for having given us both AOC and Mamdani, because it's we have all these issues of cost of living and things like that are getting worse, and those things always amplify fastest in cities, and New York is like our most bustling. Like, is it the biggest by population? What's LA? It is, right? I know it's by density.
I'll double check. Keep talking.
The density is insane. But I don't know off the top of my head now, because LA is so flat, it doesn't quite work in the same way. So what you see is that like these issues become so dramatic in certain places that those people start to vote in surprising, dramatic ways. And as the situation in America becomes more dramatic, I see more of that happening, which is why I have that confidence about, more interesting things happening in November than we might expect. Because we've just seen it happen when things get bad. Things got bad in New York first for cost of living. It all happened at the same time, but it got, proportionally worse in New York. And it was already bad to begin with.
New York dwarfs Los Angeles, by the way, by about 5 million people.
Yeah. And that's, the city proper is like 10 million people. But, the 5 boroughs. Does that answer the question? Like, I feel like the leftists underestimate the value of moving the Overton window to the left, where people are just more accepting of these more like radical seeming to more conservative people ideas.
Did you already explain what the Overton window is?
The Overton window is like this, window of the political spectrum where it's acceptable to talk about, and people like don't consider it absolutely fucking crazy. Like if you're on the far right and you think that we should like do something fucking insane, like hang the minorities, like some batshit Jake Lang type of shit, like that's outside of the Overton window. Like that's not a normal thing to say to somebody in public. You probably couldn't ask for that on Fox News. Like they probably wouldn't platform that. And then on the other side of the spectrum, like people who think that we should like the anarchists who think we need to like, dissolve the government and like, go into like some fucking crazy state of anarchy. Like that's also pretty unacceptable on the other side. And the Overton window is just this like area where everybody like considers it okay to be like, you're not going to get kicked out of an Arby's for being a liberal. You're not going to get kicked out of an Arby's for being a Republican. Like in most places, you can find a counterexample, but you guys know what I mean. People like me move it to the left by talking about some far left ideas where like maybe that part of the spectrum is really unacceptable to somebody on the right, or even somebody like my regular caller, Iowa golfer, who's like moving more to the middle, where it's just like some of it he thinks is like totally outlandish and crazy, but it gets normalized by reasonable people being like, hey, like this stuff's pretty reasonable, even though it's a little left of the Overton window for some people. And yeah, it's like the battle we're all in. It's like the chuds on TikTok are trying to spread their propaganda. We got Savannah Hernandez trying to pull it to the right. We got the people themselves, J.D. Vance and Donald Trump and Stephen Miller and Pete Hegseth and all those assholes trying to pull it to the right. We've got all the algorithms trying to pull it to the right, and like the rest of us are like, maybe not to the right. Kat sent $20 on YouTube Super Chat to say, any plans to expand your link tree with resources, things like free civics courses, your favorite books that have shaped your thinking, your most cited sources, First They Came poem, etc. would be awesome. I'm working on building a website for that. I've got a list of things I want to put on it. You listed some of them yourself. It's actually going to be a project one of these days. We're going to unearth the book collection from under my bed, so I can go through all my books that I've read and think which.
He said we there like we're going to be involved. No.
It will be laborious. I shall pay you. Yes. That doesn't sound funny. Looking at books. You don't like books?
My allergies, because I'm allergic to pets, get so bad the second I walk in this room. The thought of
fair.
like unearthing the dust from where your books lie terrifies me to my core.
They are toted. They're not like in like cardboard boxes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes it all better.
Well, I stored them well. They're books. Anyway. What's going on in the chat?
Katie brings up a good point there. I think the more wealth gap, the wealth gap grows, the more people are opening up to DSA. Hence why Trump wants DSA deported. I do think that's a great point. Me and Oscar have had a lot of chats about the wealth gap.
Yeah. Well, when I talk about things getting really bad, like I talked about cost of living in New York as an example, but there's a bunch of things, and like one of them is the wealth gap. One of them is that like along with that cost of living problem, you have a small number of people who have the power, the capacity to improve the quality of life and cost of living for a lot of people, and just don't because they're selfish assholes whose money can control the politics, because there's just like technically legal ways to leverage your money to make the government shittier for poor people. There's no law against doing that, like specifically. So you can, and it's fucked up, but people do it. And that's been getting worse and worse and worse. There's this particular trend of it getting worse since the boomer era, since the 50s, 60s, and 70s, when we were taxing the shit out of them. But I talk about that all the time on the debate show.
A lot of people threw out in chat that their government classes were like senior year or earlier, but a lot of you said senior year, and a lot of you said that it was only one semester. Oscar, how long do you think we need to have children in a classroom to teach them what they need to know about government?
Oh, dude, honestly, a semester seems fine. It's not that fucking complicated. Like, it's kind of complicated. It's more than like a cup of coffee to explain how the U.S. government works in a way that I think is enough for a person to be able to vote reasonably. So like, yeah, a semester in your like junior year of high school, that makes perfect sense to me. I don't think it's that hard. Just like straight civics, like knowing like what the different positions are. There aren't even that many.
No.
Oh. Like you could go down like if you had more than one semester, you could go down in the nitty gritty into the different departments and start being like, this is what the EPA is up to, or like this, like this is the specific role of, these different like how the subcontractor system for the military works. So like all this other stuff that would get you better educated, and that would be good. But I almost feel like that's like less important than learning history for high schoolers. Maybe I just have the perspective of it not being taught to so many people that I'd be glad to see a year. Maybe 4 years would be much better than I can imagine. But I don't know. I'd have to, I think there's a buy me a coffee that's showing up in the chat. I've not been good about checking the other things tonight. I did smoke a joint halfway through the stream, so I think I'm doing okay.
I will say this a million times. You cannot smoke Oscar into being incapacitated.
You can. It's possible.
I've tried. I've
happened.
not found the bottom of that hole. That's.
I don't see that buy me a coffee. Maybe I was misreading the chat.
Did
I
you
don't
check
know.
your other avenues?
I'm looking at the other avenues. Yeah, I've been reminded.
You also, I don't think you hit all the super chats from during the stream.
Oh, we could zoom through really quick. It lets us sort by them.
Let's get on up here, and we're gonna take a look at everybody who sent us some money tonight, because we freaking love you guys. Before this.
Yeah, here. Just give me the mouse. I'll just, because let's see. We had Kronos talking about my suit and tie, Tavi. I read these. Alchemix, thank you for the $2. Tim Davidson was there with 2. Tim Davidson again with 5. I haven't learned the colors of these. I really should. Katie sent 2. Scared for her voting rights. I don't think I read that one out.
Nope.
Yeah. Save Act is fucking scary. And Trump's clearly making an attempt at getting it popular with this fucking speech tonight.
Oh, I think actually you might be caught up now that I'm reading them. That's my bad.
Yeah, I got most of them.
Oh, Tavi, we didn't read that
Yeah,
one
we didn't
out.
read these. How do we get stuck with him again in 2024 for $2? Yeah, we biffed it on that. And if they're so concerned about election fraud, like, yeah, they just won. They've been winning, been crushing it lately. Those Republicans, shit.
Tavi's been very vocal in chat tonight about the fact that they live in either LA or California, and I've really been enjoying reading them as they come in.
2 million voters in LA proper. He wants his own Nuremberg laws so bad. I saw that. I don't think I read that out. Thank you. Hi-Fi Mike said Oskar Quentin News Network seed money. Oskar Quentin Studios. I think you typed that into a description or something. That was like the first one I kind of liked. Everybody's like Oskar Quentin News Agency, Oscar. All these different ones don't really sound right. I like the idea of studios because then it's
inclusive of me and Raven.
Well, it's inclusive of whoever records there.
Yeah.
It's just like maybe I'm in charge of the studios.
So we can expand. Before he has a political career, I think we'll become a media conglomerate.
That's actually the primary goal. Yeah. Politics is like maybe in my 40s, but I'm 31 almost.
Yeah.
So yeah, in my 30s, maybe we can fix the news. I'm already fighting against social media being shitty by being on it. Yay me. But
yeah,
I don't know. Because at the end of the day, the billionaires do still have the power to just like delete somebody like me if they teamed up. That's what I'm saying about it being nice that I'm on so many platforms now and I'm known in so many spaces that like I could like survive like TikTok banning me or something. But like if all 4 of them ban me, I'm fucking hosed. Where are people gonna find me? What do I do? Write a bunch of fucking angry folk songs? I was already trying that. That wasn't working too good.
Linktree in bio. We're gonna open a Truth Social just to know he can never be silent.
Got banned on Twitter in like 4 hours. They did not like me beefing with Cam Higby. They had enough of that shit. Oh yeah, that's why Tavi knew Riverside County.
Those
Yeah.
we read.
I think we're
caught up. We're caught up.
Oscar will be my queen. All hail Oscar. I can be extra hands on most things like timestamps and news. Kronos. We'll get you in touch with Snake and Joey. They're the experts on those things. Check out redactions in zip file number 2. After holy shit, Mary sent another fucking $100.
Mary, I'll read it. It says this one's for your baddie producer from a fellow operations girly. I respect and appreciate all that you do. Well, Mary, that's definitely going out to me and Raven tonight. I see Raven's like kicking butt in the Discord right now. Mary, I appreciate your face. You're freaking awesome. Thank you. It's 100 smackaroos, my dude.
For you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's... it is crazy that I just get to sit and yap to people. Like the fact that I can just keep a stream like this one going for all the people who just want to hang out and hear the fucking me podcast. It's pretty neat. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Thanks for supporting what I do. I think that it's when I talk about like popular content that does well in the algorithm, like this lowbrow funny shit that I do, these 3-minute videos, mostly lowbrow, if they're going to be successful and get me lots of followers, like, and it drags behind the better content of the VOD. Like, this is another thing that can get drugged further behind all of that, where it's like, this is not going to compete on the For You page the way me like yelling at chuds is, like me having a crash out because somebody's being really unreasonable. But I think this is like more effective at getting some of my more nuanced points across to people. It's just like actually sitting and having a like normal conversation about it.
Yeah.
I have a lot of abnormal conversations. Normal conversations are kind of pleasant.
Yeah, no, this is a delightful change. Usually my blood pressure spikes a lot sooner when I'm sitting over here.
You were in the room for the crash out.
I was in the room for the crash out.
How was that?
Well, I'm one of those people that cries when people yell, because mommy and daddy like to do it. So I was sitting over here in the corner like, it's just a game. It's just a movie. It's just a movie.
I scared Jesse. I feel bad. Okay, wait, hold on. Somebody was saying, it was one of the previous donations, which zip file am I looking for?
Yeah, it was 2. Zip file
No,
2.
number 2, but like which one? Because we have, hold on, I can put this back up. Is it this one or this one? Yeah. Because we have these 4 categories. So like which of these is this zip file number 2 in?
Bring the chat back up so we can ask his name.
That was...
Jason.
Yeah, Jason.
Check out the redactions and stop scrolling away.
Well, sorry, I thought you read it. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Check out the redactions in zip file number 2.
Yeah, but
So I think that was like after you dragged it from here, wherever we ended up the second in that category. Yeah.
is it this one?
I would say number 2 probably refers to the second one.
Was this the second one we looked at, though? Or
No,
did
I'm saying second on this list.
Oh, well, this, yeah, okay.
That's third.
Oh, was that little...
Oh, sorry, I forgot we have to say mouse.
Yes. See, it's easy to forget.
It is.
But I don't know. Yeah, this is 6 kilobytes. What even is this type of file? I don't know what that is. Hold on.
Not a zip, apparently.
Hold on. Let's get the chat back up.
Or maybe parent directory.
He's probably screaming in the chat if he's still here.
Nat pointed it out.
No, the
Sam
China
also
zip file.
texted me. The Discord link is expired. That will be fixed promptly after stream tonight. I ask you all to visit us again in the morning, and the Discord link will work.
Oh. Oh, do they expire every 30 days? Is that what it is? Okay, hold on.
Kronos knows ball. Jesse is my official
No, the
bestie.
China zip file has a lot of documents in it. Okay, hold on. So that was China. There's the zip file. Gotta extract it. Again, they make this fucking difficult.
This is a fun learning opportunity for all of those who started in the same place I did, which is struggling with zip files.
If only they could see what I was doing.
Oh, they could the first time
Wait,
because you were walking them through it.
unexpected error is keeping me from copying this file. The path is too long. It's in my fucking downloads folder. Okay, I might get an incomplete version, but I am just going to skip that one thing. Redactions. Okay, let's get this moved into Chrome. Okay. Jason, tell me if I'm in the right place. Is this what we're looking at? Yo. Oh, what?
I think we
Yo, they released the Epstein files. Holy shit. Oh my god.
All right, go ahead and try and do a copy paste.
Yeah, may as well give it the old copy paste check.
I love the top
it's just an
redaction that
image.
says sensitive government agency.
Declassified by counsel to the president of President Washington on 10 July 2026. Yo, like, what is this even about?
Washington, that's Warrington.
Warrington?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Okay, hold on. Oh, yeah, Warrington says it here. Okay, wait. So, the People's Republic of China. Okay, I gotta just check really quick. Where's TXT? Here. No, okay, so that doesn't work.
Damn.
I mean, it worked on some of the Epstein files. They probably learned their lesson. Of U.S. voter registration from data from 18 states, it obtained from the blank voter registration from the blank midterm elections blank.
Those are just years. Undoubtedly, right?
Dude, what? Okay. The voter registration data included the following types of information on registered voters: voter names, birth dates, redacted, home mailing address, and political party affiliation. Redacted section, some data included detailed historical records of detailed voter ballot and polling records and election donation expenses, as well as demographic information. Well, redacted demographic. This is just like, yo, what the fuck? Like, what are they, is this their proof? There's many pages of like redacted, because like even whatever information is in here, it's just gonna be so out of context and irrelevant. It doesn't matter what it fucking says here.
Yeah.
They may as well have just not released this fucking document. This is vague as shit. Okay, that was one of all of these. Holy shit.
What is D-class redacted?
Similar amounts of redactions here. But, oh god.
Not even revealing what government agency it relates to is crazy work.
D-class redacted. I'm just think this is so silly looking.
It's just like the stock image of like a hacker, and they just threw vote on the back of it.
You wouldn't steal a cell phone.
That dude, I made that joke to you. I don't even want to hear it because I was like, you wouldn't download a house, and he was like,
Yeah.
what the hell are you talking about?
Look, maybe in that context I was too high to get that, but
Middle of a work day.
what?
Middle of the work day.
Hey, was it past noon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. We got to keep looking at this stuff. What even is this? Cyber activities probably prelude to election espionage. What is this though? Like, published online. When? 2020. What? Take a minute and read through this report. It cites some of the same intel and logic used in 2020 to say that the same units were not engaged in election influence, but were instead only issue focused. Now, to argue that China is influencing the blank election. Are you fucking... Everyone's favorite topic is the subject. What the fuck? National intelligence officers, cyber. So they just like... It's like a letter... This is fucking bananas.
You wouldn't download an election. And Naya, you said that ad scared you as a kid. Dude, me too. Okay, I was like a very scared child. Every time it came out, I was like, no, you're right. I won't download a car.
Dude, I was like everybody else watching that. I was like, this looks sick, first of all, and yes, I would download a house. Like, if they had houses on the Pirate Bay, I would download one. I think I made that document in middle school, says Kronos, for $2. It's some bullshit.
Me too, Kronos.
This is fucking bananas. Okay, what do we got here? Classifications like note to election threat 45-day ICA China section during drafting team. This is from November 20th, 2020. You have brought this to my and blank's attention, and we see an opportunity to prevent an analytic objectivity mistake from happening. To prevent an analytic objectivity mistake from happening. What bizarre language. Moses for $10. Said, keep doing what you do. Love to Raven and Jess. This guy is trying for a sequel to January 6th. Hey, the orange cheating Russian groomed lying bigot is calling for fairness. LOL. Irony. Thanks for the $10. And yeah, I mean, like, seriously, like, this is the sort of thing where, like, are we going to be... Is this what I'm going to be doing on the show tomorrow? Just sitting here looking at these fucking documents?
I mean, what's the point of bringing the documents tomorrow? They say nothing.
They don't say anything. That they are redacted beyond even being interesting to look at right now. It seems. Hold on, I'm losing track of where I am. Let's just drag.
Did you ever write blackout poetry in high school, where you just like black out newspapers until it says something thought provoking? Because you do like one word at a time. Because that's what this reads to me. Reads this to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious what people who have expertise about government communications say about this stuff, because like there is just the whole question mark of like these could just all be fake. They could have just completely manufactured these. They could have just...
No, that's an accusation that I'm going to ask you to like defend yourself on right now.
Well, I mean, I'm nuts. They could be just completely fabricated in the same way that people thought that the White House Correspondents' Dinner was like a fabricated hoax, which there wasn't good evidence of. But like, fucking administration lies through their teeth.
It's going to be explosive tonight.
They have released doctored images before. They've been caught red-handed doing that. Like, you know, they've used AI to like make a person look worse in a photograph and then released it to the public. Like, they've done that sort of thing. Did that with some of the protesters they arrested here last year, the church protesters, William Kelly and the like. Yeah, so just, yeah, I just don't feel like, because for me it's like, what, these are emails, like messages, like classified. It's text on a screen with rectangles over it, and they've redacted it to the point where this context isn't all that interesting. Good. Did you move the mouse?
No.
Oh, it just jumped. Bizarre. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and poke through all of these on air, but summary clean, declass marked.
Mary says Mitch McConnell. We got some thoughts on that fella. Y'all ever seen the movie Weekend at Bernie's?
You know, in Weekends at Bernie's, we at least got to see the dead guy. Kronos for $2 said they caught him with AI making fake sources too. Yeah, like they do fabricate shit in this government. It is, they've been caught doing it. So like, I don't know.
Oh, Mary, are you leveraging the accusation that the photo of Mitch McConnell was doctored?
I don't know about that. I don't think it's honest. I don't think it's recent. It's either recent or doctored. For me, when I saw it, I thought he hasn't looked this good in years. I pay attention to Mitch McConnell. He looking rough. And you know, maybe he looks a little better under supervision. Maybe he's getting his fluids more than he normally does, or whatever the fuck it is that you have to do when you're 84 to make your lips turn back to the color they used to be. Because it just looked like an old photograph to me. People running through the AI detector things, and a lot of people got the 86% certainty that it's not AI. And I could at least expect the federal government, if they were to release a doctored image of that variety, to run it through common AI detectors and just like try to game it so they got a better score. Because you can do that. You can run filters on images that are not super visibly obvious to a person looking at the picture, but will confound the algorithms that are used to detect if there's patterns that are common in AI in it, and you'll increase your score. It's kind of like the same way how there's like license plate scramblers that like there's just it's a clear plastic thing, but there's like a pattern in it that the camera detects at enough of a color contrast that like the AI that reads license plates can't do it. Because that's all you're doing is you're confusing an AI by like making the data not present in a way that it would if it was genuine, and AI picks up on those sorts of nuances. So you can game it, but I don't know. I'm not the expert I used to be on detecting if an AI image is AI. I've just like I'm out of my depth on it. The technology's gotten too good. Kronos is saying I'm thinking about Mitch's lips a lot. They just not, I don't know. You know, you'd be thinking about somebody's lips that much if they change color like that. I think Mitch McConnell is dead. I just like, I don't even think they've got him hooked up. I think he's dead.
Few people have probably seen what somebody looks like when they come off a ventilator, and they said that he had pneumonia. And if he had pneumonia and complications from that to where he was incapacitated, he would have been on a ventilator. People don't look that phenomenal after they get off a ventilator. Let me tell you, it's not a fun time on your body.
Are they claiming now that the CPR thing was not true?
Oh, are they?
Well, they said that he was recovering from a fall and also fell ill with pneumonia. Like, that's the official story. That's like a little more consistent with what the ambulance footage looks like. That lack of urgency, no Lucas machine to most people's reckoning who have expertise on the matter. Because I've heard that from more medical professionals than the likes of Iowa Golfer. So, you know, like, I just, that all to me is not even the most suspicious part of it. It's just like, you can't do better than this for proof of life.
Yep.
You know, it does so much just to have two pictures. Like, I'm going to move a foot over and take another picture. Like just two. Let me see a little sequence of pictures. That's very hard to do with AI. That's very, very difficult to do with AI, is like to get like a picture, like pictures of the same room from two different angles. AI is really, really bad at doing that. Even really good AI. So I just don't believe them that like they were like, all right, they want proof of life, so we have to release a picture, and that's the picture they release. If I was in the hospital and my staff needed to release proof of life because people thought I was dead, and they showed me that picture, it was me in that picture looking at like Mitch McConnell, I would look at the picture and be like, people are gonna think this is bullshit. We can take a better picture than this. Like, because then the question even becomes, if it's real, is it like, did it take him all day to get him to fucking sit up straight and like look like he's conscious? Are we full weekend at Bernie's with it, where like they put him in a shirt and jeans for like 3 hours and they like gave him a bunch of drugs and like they took 6,000 pictures and that was the best one? because he's like had a stroke or something, and he's not, or like, you know, he's like his brain, like he could be really brain damaged if he was resuscitated. So like, you know, he could be unpresentable, and it could be very hard to get an authentic photograph of that quality, and maybe that's what's happened, why they only have one, and why they don't want any you know, I don't know. I'm thinking out loud. I'm not, you know, they're hiding it, so I don't know what's going on with Mitch McConnell, but like I speculate. If I had to bet, I think the guy's fucking dead. Like I can't explain it. You know, it's like I don't have all the information I need. Occam's razor. I think it's most likely that he's dead. Like, and the picture's AI, but it's a really good AI picture, and they have used all of the techniques of confounding the AI detectors such that they have 86% certainty that it's not AI, just not even that good a score.
Occam's razor. Why is the simplest explanation not that your government is telling you the truth?
Well, the truth, like I was just saying, the truth seems implausible. Because if I was still capable of being a senator, I'd have a brain good enough to look at that picture and be like, guys, don't release this. Take a better picture of me. Come on. Let's take a few pictures. Let's do a little video. You know? But like, no, it's just, I don't buy that. I think that a team of adults thought this is the picture that's going to convince the public that this guy's okay. This is all we need to do, given that he's actually okay. I think that is far less likely than him being dead in the ground. Or completely brain dead. If we include the completely brain dead as a...
That's what Butt Mustard proposed, is they have no idea that Mitch McConnell has no idea that he's even alive.
Yeah. I mean, it could be so dishonest as like he's brain dead, and like in that picture there's like a rig up his back keeping him upright, you know? Like they could have an armature that he's like got a fucking seatbelt around his chest, you know? They prop him up for 2 seconds, and like Weekend at Bernie's, like actual Weekend at Bernie's. Prop him up, because like Weekend at Bernie's, I haven't actually seen Weekend at Bernie's. Is he dead, or is he like in a coma?
He's dead.
He's dead. Okay, so like I think the realistic like version of Weekend at Bernie's is like, he's not dead. He's just fully in a coma, or like, you know, brain dead or whatever. So like he's alive. So it's not like he's gonna start rotting. But like, what? Do a photo op once a month to convince people he's alive? They don't even need that much time. They need a couple weeks. They're gonna run out the clock, and there's gonna be no recourse.
Do you think they'll reveal he was dead the whole time afterwards? Like, ha, gotcha.
No, dude. They're gonna announce his passing like 7 minutes after the timer runs out as a fuck you, and the chuds will believe that it was a coincidence. Like, some of the nonsense they sell is just like so, like it almost seems like it's there to insult us. Moses sent $2 to say, why a pic and no video? BS, Mitch is in the ditch. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Gotta text the dog sitter.
Is he ready?
He's chilling.
Oh.
I should wrap soon though. I think he's dead.
I think that man's gone. Yeah,
I think that man's...
I don't think he made it.
I have been saying for years that he's dead. That's the joke I've been saying. 'Cause I've been saying for years. I haven't seen proof of life of Mitch McConnell in any of his speeches for years. I mean, the guy...
We get an impression out of you every once in a while. Can you do an impression of Mitch McConnell speaking? At an event.
Oh God. Well, because he like croaks. So he's like a turtle that speaks like a frog. The distinguished gentleman from, like, kind of like that, right? Just like drawl mutter.
Yeah, you're missing the point of.
Right. Oh yeah, of course. Here's my impression of Mitch McConnell. Now I'm smiling. I can't do it.
Yeah, you can.
Well, because like my chin doesn't do that. I got like it's all chin. It's all like weird turtle chin. Like, because he kind of just stares. Like I don't know. I don't think I could look that much like a fucking turtle. But he does sound terrible when he speaks. He sounds horrible. Totally unable to follow. I mean, he fucking freezes up like he does. Jazz sent $5 to say Occam's razor is the conclusion with the least presuppositions. We would have to presuppose that the government was willing to tell the truth. He did. Yeah, well, that's just it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's more plausible that they're not telling the truth.
Lock in, Mitch.
Lock in, Mitch?
Let's see it.
No, I'm not. No, I'm going to smoke a joint. That's what I'm going to do. Internet likes my Hank Hill impression, though. That's fun.
I know. Though that's what got me thinking of it, because you slipped into it for like a half second there.
What did I say?
I don't know. You just started a sentence and it sounded like him.
Well, I have some other ones. They take a while to work, though. You gotta, like, sound wrong out loud for a while trying to get an impression right.
I think you're pretty close with Mitch McConnell.
What is the chat thing? Turtly enough for the Turtle Club? Turtle.
But Mustard, I had the same experience. They said, I recently realized Mitch McConnell has been old as fuck my entire life. When I looked up young photos of him, it was like seeing a creepypasta. I looked up young photos of Mitch McConnell as well, because I have this thing where occasionally I'm staring at old men so much that I'm like, I wonder if you were hot when you were my age. So I looked up Mitch McConnell, and I was just like, oh, he looks this, yeah, creepypasta vibes. Uncanny Valley, Mitch McConnell.
He looks he's been looking rough for years, man. Those, like, the two times that we've seen him just like lock up for 30 seconds and get shuffled off, it's just like, dude's a senator. Dude's a fucking senator. Well,
They want to talk about dead voters.
how many people does Mitch McConnell represent in the great state of Kentucky?
All the dead ones.
Oh. Oh, God. I'm surprised I didn't get more, like... I'm surprised the rage bait of saying that Mitch McConnell called and said that Lindsey Graham is fine, like, didn't get more engagement that day. I forget what happened on the show that day, though. I can never remember what happened on any show. It's all a blur. I have to look at the timestamps.
Hits joint. I never know.
I mean, my memory's not awful. I'd be pretty bad at the show if it was.
Yeah. I feel like your short-term recollection has, like, you know how you can only train fast twitch or like slow twitch muscles, so either you're a marathoner or a sprinter. You've got sprinter's brain. Your short-term recollection is quick. You remember what they said 5 minutes ago and you're ready to hit them with it again. But if I'm asking about yesterday's debate, there's just too much in there.
It's just that once it's out of the short-term memory, it just goes into this well that I have in short order created of hundreds of hours of having these conversations. And it's like, did I talk about this with Iowa golfer like this morning or like 4 months ago? I know he thinks this way about it. Is that current? Like, I don't know. I poke through them sometimes. I like look through them and I like try to remember like what's this title and thumbnail. I think the titles and thumbnails are working. They help me remember. Like, for me, they remind me which episode it was to a degree. Chat is being so nice.
I mean, that's what happens when you have a stream that promotes friendlies to show up.
Well,
We weren't like pumping out to the opposition, come yell at us. We were like, everybody, we're about to do this thing that is like actually going to make us all sad about the state of our country. Let's do it together.
yeah. Hey, Oscar, remember the thing I said on Instagram last month? Sure don't. I'm sorry. Stock Finder Buzz Lightyear. No, I don't think I recognize the username. Maybe you can remind me. I have a hard time associating sometimes like usernames from. Well, I mean, you guys see it with the calls. It's like hard to remember which username is who. But when I hear their voice and I get reminded of like what the conversation was, I'm like, yes, you. I remember you. Takes me a while sometimes. Is that a police?
I'm calling the weed.
I'm calling the weed. I'm calling the weed. I'm calling the stream. I think that's a wrap, Jesse. What do you think?
I think so too. I think he's gonna get one more hit in there for you guys to all get your screen caps while you can.
Oh God! Don't tell TikTok. I'll get banned. Don't tell mom and dad.
Don't tell mom and dad.
Yeah. No, I'm an adult. Fuck the TikTok filter. It's silly. Though, debating while stoned, inadvisable.
Yeah, no, he doesn't do that.
No, sober as a priest on the show in the morning. Yeah, no fun
If
being
you
intoxicated.
smoke or anything on the evening show, it is done in plain daylight. You you're doing it on the stream. So if you guys are ever like, oh, is he? No, you would have seen it.
Yeah, I never hide it. But the only time other than the members only where I've like been intoxicated on stream was like getting stoned with Manager Mercado. He was leaning off screen, literally, and I was like, "You can smoke that on my show." So he was, and I was like, I'll do one." But that was super friendly.
I would like to take Moses's impression of Mitch McConnell.
Okay.
For 5 buckaroos, they said this is how their impression of Mitch. Beep. That's a flat line.
Yeah. Just starting on the VOD. Oscar's face while listening to Trump speak is absolutely priceless. He looks like he's actually going to throw up.
Lunar, I saw it was like your birthday or something. Happy birthday. Sorry I made you cry on your birthday.
You made some people cry today.
Yeah, that was this morning.
Iowa Golfer made some people cry the other day.
Yeah, he did. Me included.
Crying is allowed. Upsetting times we live in.
Yeah.
On that note, thanks for hanging out, everybody. Thanks for all the donations. It's crazy that I get to sit and do this. Doing more evening stuff. Sunday evening is like kind of the standing thing, but like doing this impromptu was good. More of this to come. Linktree in the bio. Follow in all the places. Ooh, I'll fix the Discord link right now.
Right now.
Goodbye, everybody.